Hello. I want to touch on a subject that I've never really talked about, even over this last this last kind of time of our health crisis and all of this stuff. I've never really talked about it. But yesterday, I shared that I was feeling kind of at odds with not knowing what was next, and not, kind of trying to figure out what my part was, and I've talked to a number of people about it, and I think that lots of folks are kind of in the same boat of the hell is going on. Many of us are uh, kind of living in some form of disappointment. We kind of thought the thing that was going on, the COVID thing, was over, and or going to be over, and it doesn't seem that way. And in the middle of all of how our lives have been kind of chaotically turned upside down, life is going on. We're playing a part in it. Where people are having babies, getting married, people are dying. From, like they always would, natural causes or diseases, or getting cancer, or there's lots going on. The world is still going on, and in the backdrop is this thing that's happening, and now it's shifted. It's There's a lot of anger around, and people are upset at each other. And I've been close with people who are upset one way, and people are upset another way. They're mad because other folks aren't getting vaccinated, and other folks are mad because they don't want to be told to get vaccinated, so there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and I see it. I see that it's easy to be concerned, or it's easy to get caught up in it. It's and it, the world has changed, and it has changed. We're in Canada. We're in the middle of an election, and it seems kind of anticlimactical in a way. It's like, holy shit, why is this happening right now? There's questions around that. So there's a lot. I think that what I'd like to hear from you guys is, where are you with this? Are you, because I'm not interested really in your opinion about what's right or wrong, but how are you being with this chaos? Um, it's I watch in my family that people are their kids are still going to baseball, and they're still graduating from school, and they're stuff. Life is happening with the backdrop of this thing around us. And so how do we handle that? How do we deal with that? My practice for kind of dealing with everything is to drop into this moment, to breathe. My preference is to be understanding. My preference is to be compassionate and loving. My preference is to be available for people, no matter what their their strong opinion may be, to just be there for them and help them to deal with those things. Mostly I'm helping and working with people that are dealing with recovery from addictions, and I see what's being exposed as another huge addiction. Really, is this: we're addicted to wanting to be right. I didn't think that was going to come out, but we want to be right. This is the way it should be, and but we don't know, do we? Nobody seems to know. There's a lot of question. Those who have an opinion one way or the other are certain that they're right. So what I'm seeing is a lot of divisiveness because of that. And I'm going to suggest we let go of that. We say, you know, frig it. Well, F it. Let's just be together in this. We're in the middle of a storm, right? We're in the middle of Sometimes things feel unfair, but let's remember that, you know, when the storm is over, uh, we're going to have to clean up the mess. And so let's be, you know, as open as possible, as loving as possible. Let's recognize that this storm will pass, and you know, and life will go on however it is. You know, ego wants to say, "Oh no, this is they're doing this, and that will never be the same." Well, life is never the same. You know, things do change, and you know, I remember how I I resisted seatbelts. You know, and my arrogant teenager didn't like seatbelts. Of course, I was in my 40s, but I even got tickets for not wearing them. You know, oh yeah, all of the things as life has changed. I didn't like that. I used to smoke. I haven't smoked since the early 90s, but I remember when you know, we couldn't smoke in restaurants anymore. It was like, wow. As a kid, we used to smoke on the airplanes, you know, and we had a smoking section, you know, in the 12-step meeting rooms, you know, it was just so full of smoke. But so life changes, you know, shit happens, and so let's look at it and be, you know, as open as possible to those things, and as compassionate as possible with everybody and where they're at, you know. So that's my message today, and I can see how in the last couple of weeks, you know, I got back from my trip, and I was trying to get started again, you know, and it was hard to get traction or kind of feel what was next, because the world does seem to be a little upside down, you know, um, some of you may be feeling this, and you know, we can. It doesn't really matter. Blame it on the stars, astrology, or the whatever. You know, we can say that it's. But I mean, literally, shit is happening around us that we didn't expect. You know, and this is a big one, and it doesn't seem to be over. You know, we thought we were going to have this vaccine, even if many of us didn't want to do it, that it would at least put a lid on it, and it hasn't happened. And so here we are. You know, what's next? I was at my men's group last night, and we developed a protocol. You know, because we meet outdoors. We're, you know, have been meeting pretty much all along, because we're in our province, we're designated as a group that's supporting and helping each other, but our protocol, you know, is to be aware or concerned for each other's health and well-being. You know, that's kind of the context, and so if we're feeling sick, we don't come to a meeting. You know, and we're just being more conscious and aware of each other, and about a third of our group has been, you know, has got the virus over the year and a half, and everybody's well so far and recovered, but yeah, just, you know, be aware that we are, in a way, each other's keepers. We want to do the best we can to support each other in our fears. Sometimes our fear seems illogical, or, you know, false evidence appearing real. Sometimes, you know, it's like, but when folks are in it, they're in it. So let's be compassionate with them, and loving, no matter what their point of view is. So that's my little message today. You know, we are here. My feeling, not my feeling, my experience is that when we drop into the moment, and how do you do that? People say, what do you mean, be here now? How do I drop into the moment? Well, it's really not that difficult. Let's just do it for a second. You know, if you kind of close your eyes and take a breath, be present in the breath. Just be really right here in the breath. In my case, my feet are on the grass. I have my socks off. I can feel the grass under my feet. Right here in this body that I get to live in. And everything else disappears. I just come into this second, into this space. I feel my ass on the chair. breath in my lungs. There's no story right now. There's just this. I'm not, attached to any idea of myself. I'm just here now. When we practice that, all fear drops away. All desire drops away. We're just here. Just try that for a second. Be here now. It's really our natural state. The more we practice that, the more we experience love in that state. When the mind gets working with thought, remember they're not our thoughts. God knows where they come from sometimes. Just let them go. Just let them go, let them go. Be here now, in this moment, in this love. Just practice that. Okay, I'm going to read quickly. I don't know, quickly, maybe I'll read slowly. I've been reading from the Tao-te-Ching. And, my whole reason for doing this is to lay out the possibility that we can all be awakened in this moment, that we can all, realize that we're not our thoughts, that we're not our body, that we were here before our thoughts and body, and that we'll be here after our thoughts and body, that we are one with this universe, this awakening. And the Tao, this little book that's been translated by Stephen Mitchell, is amazing. And there's many teachings that can help us to be present and be in this moment. So let me just read 56. It's chapter 56. It's only 3 little paragraphs. Those who know don't talk. Those who talk don't know. Close your mouth. Block off your senses. Blunt your sharpness. Untie your knots. Soften your glare. Settle your dust. This is the primal identity. The primal identity. Be like the Tao. It can't be approached or withdrawn from, because we are that. It can't be approached or withdrawn from, benefited or harmed, honored or brought into disgrace. It gives itself up continually. That is why it endures. So the Tao I see is now. Maybe we can interpret it as this creation. We can interpret it as universal intelligence. The Tao is that backdrop behind everything. We don't have to find it because we are it. Okay. Love you guys. Love it if you go to YouTube and subscribe there. I woke up this morning. Yesterday I was, caught a bit in doubt, caught a bit in fear. And this morning I woke up with just a F it. Let's do this. Let's give what I can to support my community in awakening, in love, in understanding, in compassion, in joy, peace. I mean, what else would we want other than peace? To find that peace within. So that's my mission, and we're going for it. So it was fun to go into that space of totally not knowing, and in this moment, I get it. Thank you. I love you so much. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I just spoke about. Cheers.